Hello everybody and welcome back to the Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations walkthrough. It is time to begin another day of investigation. And nice little mention of the Hottie Clinic there. You may remember it from the Crane Village based trial where we first met Pearl in Justice for All, which is obviously where Nick is at the present moment in time. Because obviously he's still in hospital, but Edgy's been covering for us, and while Nick's still not feeling quite on it, he's gonna have to get on it because so much has happened. Like, so much has happened, and we still don't know what's happened to Maya. And so, really, Eddie's going to have to pass the baton on to Nick because it's time for us to bring it on home. And I do feel for Nick, largely because the first case in this game he was ill because he had a massive cold. Final case in this game, he's ill and he has a massive cold. So he spends quite a lot of it spluttering. But I suppose it's very nice bookending, actually. Which, as I'm sure you're all aware, is one of my favourite techniques in literature in general. Just because it just ties everything together quite nicely. And also because it's passing on the baton of Nick being ill as a witness to Nick being ill as a lawyer. And it's that growth, but he's still the same old Nick, and all that sort of stuff. And I just think that's just really, really awesome. But Edgy's gonna bugger off to go do some such or other to find out more about Iris. And yeah, we kind of need to get that bridge sorted, because yeah, Maya's still stuck over there. And that's not good, because she's been stuck over there for a day and a half at this point, which means that really she's only realistically got about a day and a half left before she starts to struggle from dehydration if there is no chance of getting water there. I know there's the cavern where she is, and she's sitting under a waterfall, but you don't know what type of waterfall it is, what the water is there, because it might not be entirely fresh. I suppose if it's been frozen and it's melting, then it's going to be probably as close to fresh water as you're going to get. But you don't know where that water's been. It could be filled with any sort of disease. But yes, I do really enjoy this phase of the investigation because you have Nick, Franziska, and Edgeworth, and then also Gumshoe rummaging around the crime scenes and trying to figure out what happened, and it's just the fact that they're all working together. And it's just a really wonderful thing to see, because even if they don't actually always like each other, specifically in the case of Franziska von Karma and Nick, and Franziska von Karma and Edgeworth, but they are all still working together because they care about rescuing Maya, making sure she's okay, and also finding out the truth of what took place. And that's really awesome. And it's why it ties everything together so well, and that picture of Manfred von Karma is actually terrifying. And also, they slightly cocked up that recollection of Manfred von Karma's perfect win record, because obviously he lost to Nick, therefore his streak was broken, but also in the DL6 incident, his perfect streak was also ruined because he used false evidence, and that pretty much got revealed. I'm just going to get the Bridge to the Turnabout page on the Sony Wiki up, because that's got the explicit instances. And it's not in that bit. And it's not there either. I know I've seen that piece of information somewhere, but clearly it is not immediately present. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they do bugger up that fact, which is quite funny, to be fair. And obviously this is the point where everything's just gonna turn out okay, we hope. And oh, poor Sister Bikini. I mean, to be fair, she has kind of, you know, buggered things up a bit. And oh dear, so Pearl has been missing for a day and a half as well. That's not good. So we are missing a Maya, we are missing a Pearl. The stakes are actually relatively high right now, because we've dealt with potentially losing Maya before. She's been in that many bloody murder cases. I mean, she was the defendant in 2 of them. And then obviously she was kidnapped and used as, well, held as a hostage in another. So she's not really got a good record in terms of staying safe during investigations. So really, we do kind of just need to make sure she's okay. And yeah, this is where it gets slightly confusing. So they both didn't see what they think they saw. So obviously Sister Bikini saw Iris pulling the Shikishito out of Elise Donim, or plunging it into her. Pretty sure it's pulling out because of all the blood, but we don't know. And Larry saw Iris flying over the burning bridge, which is obviously physically impossible, but that would, if they are so adamant that that's what they saw, then clearly they must have seen those incidences, but they are not exactly what they believe them to be. If that made the situation any clearer. And yeah, so now we are realising, oh dear, Maya's probably stuck over there with a murderer. Joy. But yes, we need to know more about Elise Donim, because it's very important, actually. Because it's strange as to why she came here. She in herself was strange. It's strange that Sister Bikini keeps calling her Mystic Elise when she's just called Miss Elise Donim. And how would you know that she's older than you? And here we go. It is time for the Cyclops, and there are 5 of them. We are going to be dealing with 5 Cyclops from here on out. So get ready for a lot of evidence to be coming to the fore, and for us to find out a lot of stuff. And yeah... I mean, this is the thing. No one should really be letting Pearls run off on her own since she's only bloody 8. But clearly that girl has a mind of her own. And I mean, yeah, that is the other slightly worrying thing. Hopefully she didn't actually see the murder, because that would be... that would be really traumatic. But yes, it also means that she has to be on the other side of the bridge. Which also means that she's on the same side of the mountain as a potential murderer. Which is not good, not good in the slightest. Now, we can examine stuff here, but we are really not going to get very far. So, we are gonna just move away from this after a brief check. And I believe that this is actually the Mystic Army statue that appeared in the Stolen Turnabout. I mean, it makes sense, so that's good. And, oh! I believe the bridge is fixed. So, we need to get the hell over there and rescue Maya. Kind of very important. Very, very, very important. And, oh, this is a cute reunion, isn't it? She really does love that whip. Well... at least she's helping in this situation. She could very easily just be going, yeah, no, you are not coming with me. I am the prosecutor in this case, and therefore, no. But here we go. Oh, yay! Pearl's alive. Well, that's a positive sign, but she's crying, which is not a good sign. And... oh, it's just sweet. Now, whilst we're here, I might as well go through some of the pop culture references that we have experienced so far. Because why the hell not? I've blathered on through just talking over what's going on enough, so let's get a bit of decent stuff going on. So, obviously right at the start of the episode, when Sister Bikini is talking to Maya and Pearl about the special course, before obviously Maya goes and does it, Bikini says that they should not dilly-dally shilly-shally, which is obviously a catchphrase of Tifa Lockhart in the film Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. And I don't know whether it is involved in Final Fantasy VII, but I know that it's said a lot in Advent Children. And it is just a nice little phrase. Dilly-dally, shilly-shally. Don't dilly-dally, because there's no point. Then you have when Nick is sceptical towards the temple's apparent spiritual energy. Maya states, "Forgive him, sister, for he doesn't know of what he's saying," which is obviously a likely reference to a line from the Bible, spoken by Jesus during his crucifixion, which according to the Gospel of Luke, which is, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not of what they are doing." Partway through that same conversation, Nick says in reference to Sister Bikini, "Wow, she must have just gotten off the trolley from the land of make-believe," which is apparently a reference to the children's programme Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood, which obviously I have absolutely no idea about, because that's an American kids show, and yeah, we would not have gotten that over here, I wouldn't have thought. Although we might have done, but obviously far too young for that. Obviously I mentioned the Alanis Morissette ironic little reference there. And we've also had the fact of when Edgy first cross-examines Larry in court, if the player presses the statement about how Larry didn't see the snowmobile, Edgeworth asks him why he's stammering like he just flew over a cuckoo's nest, which could be a reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but I'm not sure whether that would be quite accurate. You also have when, obviously, Larry's claiming that he saw Iris flying, and he says, like the dude with the red underwear, which is obviously clearly a reference to Superman. And that's pretty much all of those that we can cover right now. But in terms of the notes, this is actually the only episode in the entirety of the trilogy in which it is not possible to return to the Wright & Co. law offices during an investigation, which is actually fascinating. I think it's largely because... why would you? Because Maya's trapped. Everything is taking place on the mountain. There is no need to go back to the offices. But, oh! What the hell is Prosecutor Goddo doing here? So... It is immediately very suspicious as to how Goddo got here so quickly. I mean, why was he not at the trial this morning? And, oh, hey Philly, know your role and shut your mouth. Which is quite brutal, actually, and it's actually quite misogynistic. But know your role was apparently one of the catchphrases of The Rock when he was in WWE, which is quite funny. But yes, there's something very, very suspicious about Prosecutor Goddo right now. Because why is he here? What was so important that he had to miss the trial? And what on earth does he mean about having come back from the depths of hell to take us on in battle? And really, if you haven't figured it out already, you should really be beginning to figure out exactly who Prosecutor Goddo is, because that isn't actually his real name, as I'm sure you are aware. The thing is, ultimately Nick does know. It's just that he's clearly repressed those memories for the time being because they're quite horrible, to be fair. Not stuff that you would want to remember because it calls back to a case which was awful. Especially for Nick. And I'm sorry, what now? Well, to be fair, that's where she would be located. Because, you know, that's where she was doing her training. Like, that just seems slightly obvious to me. But also what's quite fascinating is that we have the trick lock here, which looks very, very, very much like a psych lock, but also what the hell is a woman's died once again? And, right, so he's blaming us for the death of Mia. Which is obviously wrong. We weren't able to save her, but she did that herself. And we sent Wright down for her murder. Yeah, I think Godot's got a little bit of a complex. Like a little bit of a major complex, because really, there is nothing Nick could have done to prevent Mia's murder, and there's nothing he could have done to prevent this happening either. Because Maya was going to do it anyway. And yes, so the way of getting through a trick lock is to figure out the trick. So that's interesting, let's put it that way. So if Iris was the one who set the lock, then how the hell did she must have actually flown over the bridge if she managed to get over to the other side. Like, that would be insane. But it's looking increasingly probable. And I do agree that is the only place that she could be, so we've just got to pray that she's okay.